Okay. Can you just acknowledge me? Can you see my screen and hear my voice? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's get started. Welcome to the session, Solid Principles. Uh, Guys, please go back and watch my videos on object-oriented programming principles and also on interfaces and abstract classes as well, because they are basis for these sessions. And solid principles, in solid principles we use interfaces, abstract classes, and many more other stuff as well. So the foundation is object oriented programming principles. In this session we're going to look into only two principles, and we have other three principles which we can look into in the later sessions, because it will be overhead otherwise if I explain everything in this session. So agenda, as usual, I expect you guys master the concepts what we explain here, and use it effectively in your day-to-day coding, and also crack your interviews as well. So we will look into solid principles, why we need solid principles, and also we will deep dive into single responsibility and open closed principles as well. So what is solid principle? It is just an acronym. I guess most of you senior guys might be knowing these principles, but I am sure you might be in dilemma. How should we use? Where should we use? Such kind of questions definitely will be in your mind. So these are five principles. They are single responsibility, open closed, Liskov substitution principle, interface segregation, and dependency inversion principle. Uh, so do not get confused with your dependency inversion principle with IOC containers like Unity or structure map or all these things, because you senior guys might be using those containers already in your applications. Okay, but frankly speaking, you do not need containers to implement dependency inversion principle. I will explain you in the later session, but in this session we explain only single responsibility and open closed principle. So why we need solid principle? It is to make your architecture or design proper. Many of the times what happens, we developers write code as per the requirement given to us. Let us say if you want to implement authentication, you simply go and write one method, and you implement user credential validation and all that stuff. That's the basic developer does. And if there is any developer who is a little bit knowledgeable, they go and implement interfaces as well, because they know that they need to use interfaces to make it loosely coupled or unit testable. But most of the people do not know how to make it even more proper, so that it will be better maintainable and easy to understand, and can be used by other consumers as well. So that is the stuff I have written here. So it's not intentional for the developer to write the bad code. It is about knowledge. Since they do not know, they were not taught about object oriented principles and solid principles, and you have many more like dry principle, kiss principle. They were not taught all these things during their academic career or on the job as well. That's the reason they do commit mistakes. And we do have a habit of only doing Google search and reading many articles. But what happens there, you only read about the concept, but you cannot stitch that with your requirement. Because let us say I give one example that is related to my project, but your project requirement could be different. So you cannot apply that principle well in your project. Okay, so to mitigate those issues, I'm going to explain here couple of examples for each principle here, so that you can apply your own thought process when you are doing coding. And also please remember, solid principles or design patterns or anything, they are not having any fixed set of rules. It's all about thought process, how well you think. Okay, and there are no tools, and there are no tools to implement these principles or design patterns. It's all about again your thought process. You need to use your common sense while you're doing coding. With that, let's get into first principle. So in solid, the first letter is S, that is single responsibility principle. So let's have a look what it is. Single responsibility means a class should have only one reason to change, or a class should have only one responsibility. Okay, uh, that means you may write one class, and let us say one customer class, or some order class, or anything. If it is an order class, it should handle only order related operations. If it is a customer class, only it should handle only customer related activities, like adding a customer, updating customer details, or deleting customer details. At the same time, order class, it should handle only placing an order, updating an order, such kind of stuff. It should not handle any other stuff. Okay, that's the single responsibility principle. You may think it is very simple to implement single responsibility principle. So it's not that easy, because it comes by experience. It cannot be achieved by reading an article or watching a video. We will show you a couple of examples and you feel the difference. Okay, so you need to understand what is a responsibility here. I keep using responsibility and behavior in this session. So you need to understand what is a word responsibility and what is a word behavior. Responsibility means the logic that you write in your method. Let us say adding a customer to the database. For that, you may connect to the database and you write code to use ado.net or entity framework, and then finally you save it in the database. So this is a logic. Okay, this is called a responsibility. And what is behavior? Behavior is how you invoke that method. Let us say you have a search functionality. Let us say search customers. So to that, you will send name of the customer. And let us say we take some e-commerce applications. Let us say Amazon. You can search by product name, you can search by brand, you can search by like let us say you can filter by price, you can filter by rating as well, review rating as well. So this is called behavior. Like searching for a product is the logic what you write in the method, and on top of that, on what basis you are searching. That basis is your product name, or weight, or rating, or brand, or make, or model. This is the behavior. So logic is responsibility, and how the method is invoked is what behavior. So please remember these two words. So why should we have a single responsibility for a class? So in a class, you might write a number of methods, and in sometimes what happens, you might call one method from another method within the same class, and you might be having static variables, or session info, or caching info, many things that can be shared between your methods or between your classes. So what happens, you write one functionality, and in the next sprint or later you write another functionality. Because of these shared variables or static variables or session, you may affect the previous functionality, because you may override the existing data in the session. So to avoid that, it is suggested to have only one responsibility for a class. Okay, with that, let's get into code. So my idea here is to start with simple examples and then get into the complex examples. And all these examples are not related to each other, so you will get a better idea as well when you are going to implement in your applications as well. So let's have a look at the first example, that is uh, for better reference, I have named it like SRP underscore example one. So first let's look at this class. So in my project solid principles lab, I have got a class called free file share websites. Guys, I have taken file sharing websites scenario because everybody must be using that one, so it is easier to catch. So I have created a class that is a free file share website. For the better reference, I suffixed it no SRP. That means this is a bad code basically. So the usual activity in any file sharing websites is uploading a file. So everybody knows how to upload a file. You basically have one file browser control and you browse it and then upload and then save it. Okay, so that's what I have done here. Guys, please do remember the agenda of these sessions are to explain you the concepts, and my focus will be on the concepts, not on the actual logic. Like here I'm not going to write a logic to upload a file to the websites. Instead I explain you the concept here. So what I have done here, I have created a method called file upload, and I take the file path, and I have a try catch block here. So in try block, I will write the logic to upload the file, like reading the file, convert it to stream bytes, and then save it on the server disk. And also you may find some exceptions as well. For that, what I'm doing, I'm catching that exception, and if you see here, currently I am logging the exceptions to a log file, that is a text file. Do you see any issue here? We just discussed a class should have only one responsibility. That means only one logical operation. Well, here my responsibility is to upload a file, but apart from that, I'm also logging the exceptions to the log file. It is an issue here. Let me explain why. Right now, I am logging the exceptions into a log file, but in future, I may need to log this exception into a database, or into a event viewer, or into some cloud-based storage mechanism. Then what I have to do, I have to come here and modify this method, write another logic to write it to a database or event viewer. So what is the actual issue here? When you make a change to this method, you need to unit test it, and also that testers, the manual testers, have to test this functionality again. Even though you did not make any change to the file uploading logic, they still have to test this file uploading logic, because there might be errors caused in your event logging mechanism or exception logging mechanism. So this is the issue here. If you would have written, if you would have taken this logging mechanism out and put it in a separate class file or in a separate project, you wouldn't have faced this issue. So we need to marshal out this logging mechanism from this class. Marshal out nothing but you need to take out this logging mechanism from this class, so that you can make this compliant to single responsibility principle. So for that, you know, like senior guys know how to do this one. You may write another class and keep this exception logging methods in that class. Okay, that's what I have done. So what I have done here, I have created one more class that is with the same class name, but prefixed with suffixed with SRP. So the same file upload, but here I have created one more class that is a custom exception handler. The class is here, and it is having a simple method that is a log exception. Okay, so in the class which is compliant to single responsibility principle, I have created an object of this custom exception handler, and I am logging this exception information into the text file using log exception. So in future, if you have to make changes to your logging mechanism or exception handling mechanism, you will go and change only this class, the custom exception handler, not the free file share website underscore SRP. With this, we can say this class free file share website class underscore SRP is compliant to single responsibility principle. Isn't that simple? No, because this is very simple example. You find it very simple. I will get into more complex examples after this one. And many of you also having many doubts now that uh, since I said a class should have only one responsibility, why are you using try catch block here? Why don't you like if you're an MVC developer, you might think of action filters. If you are a developer in traditional ASP.NET web forms, you can think of HTTP modules and handlers, right? You can use all these mechanisms to make it perfect, but my focus here is to explain you the single responsibility principle. Okay, so later you can take this solution, you can avoid even try catch blocks and write one action filter to make this project even more perfect. And you can use HTTP modules and handlers, and you can use many open source projects as well. So there is no fixed set of rules to make it compliant to single responsibility principle. It's all about the thought process. Okay, let's go back to the slide and look into some more aspects of this single responsibility principle. So now by implementing exceptions in a different class, we adhere to the single responsibility principle. But as I said, it's not that simple. It is purely depends on your thought process, how you think. Let's look at challenges. As I said, you need to use your own judgment to arrive at the right segregation of responsibility. In the previous example, how we segregated the responsibility. We segregated exception logging mechanism and the file upload mechanism into two different classes. Like that, we segregated the responsibilities. But there might be other examples as well. So with one example, you cannot apply it easily. Let's look into a couple of more examples. You will slowly realize that it's not that easy to make it single responsible. I have another example here, that is example 2. Okay, again I have taken the example of file share websites. Okay, the usual mechanism in any file share websites is first you will log into the website. It can be a YouTube, or it can be a Dropbox, it can be a app box what I use to share the files with you. So the usual activities are login, and then you can upload a file, you can download a file, and finally you can log out. So here I'm not talking about any exception logging mechanisms or exception handling mechanisms. Okay, so you have a login, upload a file, download a file, and log out file. So what's the issue you observe here is, here you have two kinds of responsibilities. Uh, in my words, I can say the two responsibilities here are authentication and then file handling mechanisms. Under authentication, basically what I'm doing here, I'm logically grouping the events, or in other words I can say I'm logically grouping the requirements. Okay. Under authentication responsibility, I can say login functionality and then logout functionality. Under the file handling mechanisms, I can say upload file and download file. So I can see two responsibilities here, and I can definitely say this interface is not adhered to single responsibility principle. So what we should do immediately, we need to segregate these responsibilities properly. So for that, what we can do, we can create one interface for authentication, another interface for file handling mechanism. Uh, can you guys hear me properly? I think someone is having an issue. Please ping me in chat. Okay. Guys, please look at your internet because other guys are able to hear my voice properly. Okay. Let's continue. So as I said, we have two responsibilities here, that is authentication and file handling. So that's what I have done here. So earlier I have got only one interface, that is file share website. Now I created two interfaces to segregate these responsibilities. First one is file manager underscore SRP. So this is a file manager interface. It contains only one responsibility, that is upload a file and download a file. Please do remember, these are not two responsibilities. We are logically grouping the operations. So when you think logically, this is one responsibility. Uploading a file and downloading a file, both are related to file handling mechanism. And I have created one more interface, that is authentication manager underscore SRP, that contains the operations login and logout. Okay, so now I have successfully segregated into two interfaces, one for file handling, another for authentication, and now we are compliant to single responsibility principles. Please do remember, single responsibility doesn't mean having a single method in your class. It is to logically group your activities, to logically group your requirements and operations. Think logically, not physically by the number of methods. So that is one example. Let's look at another kind of example. I'm giving more examples here so that you can apply your thought process when you are going to work on your own projects. So in the first example, we seen extracting logging mechanism from the class, and here we seen segregating responsibilities across multiple interfaces. In the third example, I'm stepping one step forward. That is, I have websites like Dropbox, AppBox, and also I have YouTube as well. In Dropbox or AppBox, you do not get any incentive or any money on your file uploads. Let us say in YouTube, if you upload some videos and it is viewed by n number of people n number of times, then they may pay you some amount of money. But in other websites like Dropbox or AppBox, you do not get any money for that. Okay, that's the scenario. Now let's look into the code. So first of all, I have one class which is not adhered to single responsibility principle. That is free this interface. So this interface contains three methods: upload file, download file, and also you can share the link with friends as well. Okay, uh, and also you have one more method, that is earn money on movie file views. Let us say if you if as I explained, if your video is viewed by n number of people, you will get some money. But this is available only on YouTube. Okay, you cannot get, I mean, Adbox or Dropbox do not pay you any money for views or something. Okay, so my contest is here, how you getting the incentives, but uh, so the differentiating mechanism is how you get money. The common functionalities across all websites are upload file, download file, and sharing files. Let us see. So this interface is being implemented by Dropbox class. If you see, Dropbox class is implementing I I free file share website account. So I implemented download file, upload file, and also it is being implemented by AppBox. Just remember, now I am taking the classes which are not adhered to single responsibility principle. So it is also implementing the all the methods of free file share websites methods. So let us say I'll go and uncomment. Uh, uh, Initially, I'm having Dropbox and AppBox. After some time, I have to implement YouTube as well in my application. When the YouTube has come into picture, as I told you, in for YouTube also pay money to the users when their video is viewed by a number of people. Now, what happened? Since I have this method, I have this method earn money on file views. It has to be implemented by Dropbox because it is implemented this interface, and also it has to be implemented by uh, AppBox as well. Since I did not implement the method, earn money on file share views method, I am getting this exception. That is that is uh, appbox underscore no SRP doesn't implement interface member, earn money on file movie views. Okay, something like that. So uh, people can say like this, okay, what is there? You can implement that method and just leave it like this. So I can implement this method, but just do not write any logic, just leave it like this. So this is the problem. Many people think like that, and they simply implement that interface but do not provide any implementation here. This is the wrong implementation of object-oriented programming. When you do not, sorry, this one, earn money on file. When you do not have this attribute, when you do not have this responsibility, why should you implement that method? Let us say you take your daily day-to-day activities. If you are you have a employee class means you have developers, you have team leads, you have project managers. Since everybody comes under employee, you will have a developing activities, management activities, and team leading activities. If you keep all these activities in one class, even developer also needs to get that responsibility, that is project management. When you are a developer, why do you need to do a project management until unless you are told to do so, right? That's the actual problem in real life. In the same way, my Appbox and Dropbox accounts do not give me any money on more video views. Then why should I implement? This is a wrong implementation. So for that, you need to avoid that. You need to make it single responsible. So how I can do? Instead of writing this method, earn money on movie file views, I will create another interface. Right now I have only one interface, that is free file share website account, which is not adhered to single responsibility. Now I will go and create one more account, one more interface, that is I pay money. So I will have this responsibility or method in this interface, and this interface will be used only by your YouTube website or YouTube class. And then what about other common functionalities, that is download file and upload file? Even YouTube also allows these things, right? For that, what I do, I'll create one abstract class. So guys, please go back and watch my videos on abstract class. So I'll create one abstract class to have common functionalities. So that is a download file, share file with others, and upload file. This abstract class contains all these common functionality. And if you see, I am still holding my abstract class is inheriting from uh, free file share website, because I want it to be loosely coupled. I still use interfaces. My first interface is having only 3 methods. These are the common methods across all websites. So I implement this interface in the abstract class. And when it comes to the YouTube, what I do, my YouTube will derive from abstract class, and as well as I pay money interface. I pay money interface contains how you get the money method, and abstract class contains the common functionalities like upload file, download file, and all. So with this, I can say all my classes, all my classes in my example 3 are single responsibility principle. They are adhering to single responsibility principle. So like this, you need to apply your own thought process when you are segregating the responsibilities. So in the next time, in your day-to-day projects, when you are going to design your class, think about all these scenarios and make it single responsible. So you do not need to make changes to your classes when some other responsibility changes. It takes time, but do implement. Without practice, you cannot do. You cannot learn anything. So those are the challenges in a single responsibility principle. And what are the takeaways here? If you observe in all our examples, we kept our classes, we kept our design for change. That means our class is unaffected of other classes changes. We always ready for change in design, because we segregated the responsibilities into different classes or different interfaces. So that's the single responsibility principle. Let's get into the next principle, that is open closed principle. Guys, all these principles, single responsibility, open closed, and all the other three principles should go hand in hand. All your classes or components should adhere to all these principles together. Okay, when you implement open closed principle in a class, you should still adhere to single responsibility principle. Okay, please remember that. So what is open closed principle? Open closed principle means a class should be open for extension and closed for modification. Okay, we will look into a couple of examples for your better understanding. But before going into that example, let's have a look at this theory as well. You need to understand. What do you mean by open for extension? So when you are making your class open for extension, guys, please do remember, when I say extension, you can use abstract classes, you can use polymorphism, you can use interfaces, or you can use many more stuff as well. So that's the reason I told you to watch my previous videos on polymorphism and object-oriented principles. So in open closed principle, two important aspects are responsibility and behavior. In the starting of this session, I explained what is a responsibility and what is a behavior. Responsibility is the method's logic, and behavior is the way of invoking your method that contains the logic. We took that search functionality, search by product name, search by product brand, search by product weight, etc., etc. So how you can make your class open for extension? The simple way is to keep your to extract your behavior from the responsibility away. That means you keep your actual logic in one class or in one interface, and the behavior in other interface. Behavior means depending on what you need to search, on name or weight or size, etc. Okay. And what is closed for modification? That means once you have implemented your class with a number of methods, let us say responsibilities, you should not make changes to that class. Guys, please do remember here, when I say do not make change to the class, it doesn't mean that you should not fix the bugs. I'm not talking about defect what you introduced when you implementing your business requirement. If it is a bug, obviously you have to go back to the class and fix that bug. If it is any new requirement on top of the existing requirement, then it should be in another class. It should not be, the current class should not be modified to implement the another requirement on top of the current requirement. So that's the difference. If there is a bug, you should have to make modification to your class. If it is an enhancement, or if it is another requirement on top of the current requirement, then you should not make change to that class. So this is called closed for modification. With that let's get into the examples. So for open closed principle, again I have taken two examples here, so that you can understand different scenarios, and you can well implement this in your day-to-day projects when you are writing new classes, or when you are creating new classes. Let us take uh, an example. Again, I am taking a scenario of file share websites. You can okay, in file sharing websites, what happens basically, initially if you want to upload a file, you basically create an account in that website. So uh, different websites behaves differently. Let us say some websites will make you as a guest. Once you provide some personal details, then they will make you a trial customer. Let us say trial customer means you will have a limited space on the website. Let us say they will allocate you 5 GB of storage space. Let us take our Apple iCloud. By default, iCloud will give you 5 GB of free storage space. If you want to take more space on the iCloud, then you have to pay some amount of money per month or per year or per quarter. So that's about trial period customers, or trial customers, or guest customers. And once you become a paid customer, some websites will classify you as a paid customer, and some websites will classify you like a gold customer, a platinum customer, like that. Let us say you are a customer with a gold account. They may give you 100 GB more on top of the free, I mean, trial customer. Okay, that's the scenario. And like, let's look into the example here. So first I'm taking a class which is not adhered to open closed principle. That's why I named it as a file share website account underscore no OCP. So as you see here, I'm having this class file share website account with underscore no OCP, and I'm having one property called account type. Account type can be trial account, or paid account, a guest account, or gold account, platinum account, anything. And I have one method here, that is provide space. Okay, in this method, or you can call it a, I mean, let's be more technical. Instead of calling it as a method, let's call it as a responsibility. So in this responsibility, I have some if conditions here. If account type is trial, then allocate 5 GB storage space, that is 5 GB storage space provided. If account type is gold paid customer, then allocate 105 GB of storage space. If account is other than trial and gold paid account, then I'm not providing any storage space. He just having access to the website. So let's examine what issue we have here. Let us say in future, uh, my website or my business people introducing another customer that is of type platinum customer. Then what you do, you go and here write one more else condition, that is platinum, and then you say, return 1050 GB of storage space. I know it is very easy to make this change because the example is very simple, but in real-time projects the examples will be having the requirement, your method will be having a number of delegates or action filters, sessions, cache, etc, etc. It's not that easy. Okay, so what I have done here, when my business introduced another account of type platinum, I have added one more else condition here, and I accommodated that logic. So what we have done here, when the new requirement has come up, I have made changes to my class. That means I have violated open closed principle. I modified my logic in the class to accommodate another requirement. So my class is not extensible. My class is not extensible. At the same time, I am making modification to my class responsibility. So I am violating open closed principle. Now, how you can make it compliant to open closed principle? The culprit here is account type. Because of new account introduction, I have made modification to my responsibility provide space. So I need to extract this account type from this class so that I will not be required to make changes to my responsibility. In other words, I will not be required to make modification to my method in my class. Likewise, we can make it compliant to open closed principle. Let's look at a class that is compliant to open closed principle. So I have created another class, file share website account underscore OCP. In this example, uh, so open closed, you need to make it extendable. That means I can use polymorphism. Okay, for polymorphism, I can use a method with virtual. So what I have done here, I have created one more class, file share website account, and I have the same method provide space what is there in a class which is not compliant to no OCP. But what I have done here, I marked it as a virtual, and what it is saying, no storage space provided, just account is created. So this is a virtual, so it can be extended by other classes. Let us see. I have one more class that represents gold account. So my class that represents gold account, that is file share website with gold account, is derived from the class base class file share website account with OCP. See, let me show you here. So when I derived, how you do? So you say override space and then you have provide space. Okay. So like this I have done. So if it is a gold account, how much I'm giving 100, 105 GB of storage space. And at the same time, for a trial account, I created another class. and again I derived from this file share website account base class, and I overridden that method. For trial period customer, I given only 5 GB of storage space. Okay, like this what I have done, I have created different classes for different account types. For trial account, I created one class. For gold account, I created one class. You may think we are increasing the number of classes in our project. It may leads to maintainability. But see, it is very simple to create a number of classes rather than keeping everything in one class and gets confused. And when you make any changes, you need to test each and every functionality. So in having multiple classes for multiple accounts, what happens when you make any change to the gold account, only will test the functionality of the gold account type, not the trial account type or platinum account type. Okay, so by implementing polymorphism here, we are we are compliant to open closed principle, and at the same time we are compliant to single responsibility principle as well. If you see, I have different classes for different account types, so each class is having only one responsibility. So as I said, when you are implementing or designing classes, you need to comply to all the principles. Okay, now you might start thinking that it is very simple to implement open closed principle. It looks simple now because I have taken very simple example, and that too using polymorphism. Let's get into a complex example. Anything is simple to you if you understand the fundamentals. If you do not understand the fundamentals, for your lifetime will be referring to articles and videos online. You have to refer to get an idea, but you cannot get the exact solution to your requirement. So refer to the online videos or articles only for getting the understanding and the concept, but not for the solution. Okay, so let's move on to a little more complex example. That is I just used that example, searching for products. So in Amazon or Flipkart, you have a product search. So you can search product by name, by brand, and by name, by brand, by model, by price, and you can filter by ratings as well. That's what we have seen. And with that, let's look into that example. First of all, uh, let's go to my product class. So I have taken one product. I have created one class that contains product attributes. They are name, brand, price, weight, and size. That means you can filter by, you can search for products based on any of these properties, or I can say attributes of that product. So this is my model, or you can think it of as a DTO or class, whatever you can think, or entity. So basically what you do, uh, you basically go and write one model, and then you will write one class. In that class you will write one method, let us say search for products. That's what most of the times any developer does, but that's not the right way. We will see why it's not the right way. So this is my product model, and then let's go to I told you you will have one more class that contains the method which actually implements the product search. So I have created one more class, that is product filter underscore no OCP. So as we just discussed, I have created one method, that is a search method, which returns IEnumerable of my product, and this method takes list of products, and also it takes the search parameter, that is product name or product model, whatever it is. Let's run this one because it is important to run this one for you to make it understandable. Let me make it view code. Guys, let's look into. So I have two buttons here. One is a no OCP button, which explains you the class that is not adhered to OCP principle, and another button which executes the class that is adhered to OCP principle. Let's look into the no OCP functionality. So let's put a breakpoint here. So to start with, I want to perform my product search based on product name. Okay, so let's go to this product filter. So your method is taking the list of products and then product name. Here what I'm doing, I'm simply looping through all these products and comparing the name of the product with the parameter. If it is equivalent, then I am displaying it to the customer or the UI. It is that simple. So, but as I told you, this is not adhered to open closed principle. Let's run this example. Before that, let me, okay, that's fine. So I'm demonstrating now the class which is not adhering to open closed principle, no OCP. So what I have done here, I have created an object of this product filter class where I'm having a product search method. And you see, since the return type is enumerable of products, I have created one variable filtered products, and then I'm invoking this method prod search, and I'm passing a list of products and then genes. Guys, I'm not doing any database operations here to get the list of products. Instead, what I have done here, I have initialized my product model here. So I have added five products here in line. Okay, so I'm sending the product. So let's do F11 and see actually. See F10. Let's see F10. So my product name is jeans, and then my list of products, I have 5 products. Obviously, it will return the name brand name Proverb actually because it contains jeans product name. Okay, let's do loop. See, I have sent, I have done the product search that is based on name. So I have sent the product name as jeans and I have got the brand name as Provoke. Okay, that's well and good. Now, so what's the issue we see here? Now I am doing product search by name. What if I need to filter the products by brand? So obviously what you do, you will go and create one more method, one more method passing list of products and then parameter name. That's what I have done here. So since the same method name cannot be used, I just named this method name as search by weight or search by weight, and then again I'm same signature, the products and the parameter, and again you will loop through this one actually. Okay, I did not loop through that, so you can say, so instead of name I use weight and then parameter. So if product dot weight equal to weight, then use that and just use this. Guys, I have used one keyword here, yield. This is very important, very useful. You can go and learn about yield keyword, and it is very good interview question as well. Now let's go back to our agenda. So now I want to search products based on weight. Again, what you do? Again, you say enumerable of product. Let's use filter filter products by weight, and you say prod search dot. This is a object of your product filter class, and then you have a search by weight. See, now you have two methods. For search method is doing search operation based on name, and search by weight method is doing search operation based on weight. So I'll send this product list, comma, and then say weight, let us say 250.15 something. Okay, so let me comment this one. Let me take this as message box as well. I'll say product name. Let's put a, and again run this one. Let me put a breakpoint here as well in this method. Okay, click on no OCP. So I have come here, I created an instance of product filter, and then that is a name. Actually I did not uh, the first one is product search by name, and the second one is product search by weight. I'm sending the same product list and parameter as a weight. Let's do F11. See, sorry, I have used a different one. Sorry, why it went to the earlier one was I have used this variable here. Let me use this variable. No OCP. Let's do F5 directly. Provoke. Now let's come to the method. Now I'm invoking search by weight method, F11. See, it has come to bottom, the second method. So it is looping to all the products and then comparing with the weight what we sent, and then giving the name of the product. So I have sent 250.15 as a weight of the product, and I got the name jeans, like this. So what's the issue here? What do you observe here? Let us say if I have to search by uh, if I have to search by uh, brand, then what I have to do here, I have to come here and add one more overload method or one more method, simply copy pasting. You may think it is simply copy pasting, but it is increasing the complexity. It is not readable. Okay, and then you change this logic. uh, Instead of weight you will say brand or something, and you will name it as a different thing. So what you are doing here basically, for each such parameter, you are simply creating one more method in your product filter class. That means you are repeatedly making modifications to your class. So this is violating open closed principle. Now for that, what in order to make it compliant to open closed principle, what we have to do, we need to keep behavior from the responsibility away. Here behavior is search by weight, search by name, search by brand, and logic means, I mean, responsibility is looping through your products and finding out the right match. So we need to segregate these responsibilities to make it compliant to open closed principle. Now let's see for that what are we going to do. So for that, what I'm going to do is, again the product class is same because it is just a model, nothing. And then I'm creating one interface here to extract the behavior from the method's responsibility. So as I said, we need to keep responsibilities and behaviors individually. That means you will not see such parameter in your methods responsible, like your responsibility, like your search method. So I created one interface, that is iSearch behavior, which is containing one method, that is a search method. Again, the return type is same, and but this time this contains only one parameter, that is list of products. Okay, iSearch behavior, that is the interface. It contains method taking only list of products. It is not taking search parameter, name or weight or price or anything. That's the difference. And so since you have an interface, there should be some concrete classes that implements this interface. Now what's the change I'm going to make it here in the class which is not compliant to OCP. I have different methods for different search parameters. If I want to make it compliant to open close principles, I'll create different classes for different behavior. Let us say for behavior weight, I'll create one class. For behavior name, I will create one class, like that, and so on. Excuse me. So first let's look into this class search by name behavior. So I created one class. Let's take this search by size behavior. So this search by size behavior class is implementing the interface, that is iSearch behavior. So obviously when I implement an interface, I need to implement all the methods in my interface. So in my interface iSearch behavior, what I have got only one method, that is a search method. You can call it as a responsibility. So this is I'm implementing a responsibility here. Where is that? Yeah, here. Very simple, right? So I have implemented this method, and if you see, the logic is same. I am looping through the list of products, and there is no change. If you see here, let us see, the same for each loop I have used in my new class as well, that is adhere to search by size behavior class. But apart from that, okay, you have this method, but how do you get this size? This is a parameter, right, that I'm sending from the front end. I'm not getting this from this method, from the UI, but I'm getting this parameter in a different way, that is via constructor. So I have created one constructor which initializes this size parameter. By making use of this constructor, I'm able to use this size in this comparison logic, such logic. Is that enough? No, because your UI, your front end is not going to invoke this method directly. Okay, remember I have one class, that is a product filter class, which is being used by my front end, that is by this. I still use this product filter class only, but I make changes this product filter class to make it open closed, or to compliant to open closed principle. Let's look at the product filter class which is compliant to open closed principle. See, now my product filter class looks very simple. So this product filter class is again having the search method, but it is taking product list as a parameter, and also iSearch behavior interface as a parameter. Okay, so now how it gets invoked? My front end will create an object of this product filter passing this iSearch behavior. Remember guys, you need to watch your interfaces abstract classes. So at runtime, my iSearch behavior class will be pointed to the classes that implements this interface. Let us say search by size behavior class is implementing iSearch behavior. At runtime, I can point my interface to this class so that it will invoke this class, this method. So uh, let's look into the mechanism how we are invoking the class product filter underscore OCP to search the methods, to search the products. So let's look here. Just give me a second. Okay. So what I have done here, again, I have created an instance of product filter underscore OCP class where I am having this search method, which is taking a product list and then interface, and in turn, uh, this method is calling the search method in your interface. If you see, this is a search method in your interface, this search. This contains only one parameter. Okay. And then after that, this is just to hold the return data from the search method. And after that, I'm pointing my interface to the search by size behavior, and uh, this is the size I'm sending from the front end to search for the products. Let's debug it. OCP. So I have created an object of this product filter. That's why it is pointing to product filter class, and then created a variable of iSearch behavior. And then till now my iSearch behavior variable is null. Now I am assigning this class. I'm pointing my interface to this class. Let's do F10. Guys, now my interface is pointing to the method, to the class search by size behavior underscore OCP where my actual logic exists. So I'm passing this product list and search behavior interface. Let's do F11. Where I am here, I am in the product filter underscore OCP, which is what we used in the class which is not compliant to OCP as well. So this method is calling the actual method of the interface, but this interface is now pointed to the search by size behavior. So when I do F11, since my interface is pointed to the search by size behavior class at runtime, I have come to the responsibility or method search, and you see I have sent this, I have initialized this constructor value, that is size, from the front end here. So when I created an object of this class, it basically constructor is invoked and the size is initialized. That's how I got it. And again, this is same. You will loop through the products, and when a match is found, it will go back. So I have got the arrow because I have given weight as a 350.15. Good. So now we have seen uh, how we extracted the behavior, that is a search parameter, from your logic, that is a search logic. Initially it contains two parameters, products list and then weight, but when you make it compliant to uh, open closed principle, I have introduced one more principle, one more interface, that is search behavior interface. So likewise, if you want to go and implement such mechanism based on some name, what you have to do, you have to go and create one more class, that is search by name behavior. So I created this class, and then you have to implement the interface, that is iSearch behavior, and then I have to implement the methods in the interface. That's it. Now here what I do, I simply I can simply use this looping mechanism what I have used here. Let me go here. So use this one, but instead of size, okay. First, I need to have a constructor to get the such parameter. So you can say you can create one constructor that is public search by name behavior underscore string name. Let us say target string name, and this dot name equal to name. So I have created constructor to get the search parameter from the front end, and here I simply make it name and then name. That's it. Now let's debug this. Let me remove all these things. Search by, yeah. So you can again call this one. What I do is I'll take all these things. Okay. Let me comment so that I can save time here. So now I'm pointing to name, right? So here let's just send the name as what I have here. Name as let us say LED TV, and then let's take the brand. Such instead of behavior, let's create uh, size. What's the class name I created? Search by name behavior, and I am passing this LED TV as a constructor value. Let's run this. Let's run this OCP. So let's do F11. See guys, I have created a constructor, right? Which is this class is search by name behavior is implementing this class, this interface. This interface method is this one. I implemented this looping mechanism, and now I am initializing the constructor, that is a constructor value, that is LED TV. Later it will be used in this comparison. And now see, that's it. See, I have sent the name as jeans, and I have got the model brand, that is Samsung. Like this, you can extract, you can marshal out behavior from your responsibility. Here behavior is search parameter, and responsibility is looping through the products and finding out the exact match. So in the same way, if you want to implement the search mechanism based on brand, you can go and create one more class, search by brand behavior, and then implement this interface, and then in the front end you can point your interface to that newly created class search by brand. So it is that simple. So by making these changes, now I am not making any modification to my existing classes. I'm not doing any changes. Okay. And also my each and every class is having only one responsibility. Okay, my search by size behavior is doing only product search by size. My search by name behavior class is doing product search only by product name. So it is adhered to single responsibility principle, and since I am not making any changes to my existing classes, I am adhering to open closed principle as well. So I have given two examples and two different ways of implementing open closed principle. One is using polymorphism, that is a virtual keyword. The other one is using interfaces, and using interfaces. Guys, you should remember one technical word. Interfaces are abstract classes. You can call it as abstractions. So what I have done in this example, I have used abstractions to implement open closed principle. This is the suggested way, because when you use abstractions like interfaces or abstract classes, your code is more unit testable. Okay, you need to remember that. So the best way to implement open closed principle is to abstractions. So the better one is interfaces in abstractions. So these are the examples on open closed principles. Guys, one more thing I would like to suggest you guys. Watching this video alone will not help you. You need to take these examples and practice it and debug it in conjunction with watching these videos, so that you can well implement these concepts in your regular projects as well. Practice makes man perfect. Even no one is exception to that one. Please ensure you practice and implement it. That's all guys from my end, and thank you very much for your time. I will schedule another session to cover other principles like Liskov substitution principle, interface segregation principle, and dependency inversion principle. Please do not miss watching my previous videos, because they play a dramatic role in implementing solid principles, and there is no specific tool, there is no specific set of rules to implement design patterns or best practices or principles in your coding. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. Please leave your feedback. That will help me to improve the sessions.